Welcome back to the Neuro Finance Masterclass. Man, we are officially on day 60 of our 365 Days to Financial Freedom series.
That's right, and today we're unpacking an absolute superpower for your portfolio. Seriously, we're cutting through all that daily noise, dropping the guesswork entirely, and equipping you with the exact same high-level clarity that the pros use. So if you're ready to build some unshakable confidence in your financial strategy, let's dive right into this explainer.
Okay, so let's contextualize where we are right now. Yesterday we gave you the RSI thermometer to measure market emotion, right? We literally learned how to gauge when the market is running just way too hot or freezing cold.
Exactly. But today we're taking it a massive step further. We're giving you the ultimate tool, the compass. Because look, measuring emotion is incredibly valuable, no doubt about it. But knowing your true, undeniable direction, no matter what the daily weather's doing out there, that is how you actually survive and thrive.
So here's our syllabus for today's explainer. First up, filtering the daily chaos. Then we'll look at the Wall Street compass. After that, we're going to uncover the legendary Golden Cross, followed by its exact opposite, the Death Cross, and finally wrap it all up with the architect's action plan.
All right, let's jump straight into section 1, filtering the daily chaos. If you pull up a daily stock chart right now, it's just total chaos. Prices are violently bouncing around based on late-night tweets, baseless rumors. 1 minute a stock is surging, and the next, bam, it tanks on some random daily news panic.
Right, so how on earth do you filter that daily chaos to maintain your neurofitness? Think about it. If you react to every single blip on the radar, you're playing a losing game. As an architect, which remember is exactly what you're becoming, you desperately need a tool that cuts right through this panic to reveal the absolute undeniable direction of the market.
Which brings us perfectly to section 2, the Wall Street compass.
Now, the mechanics here, they're just beautifully simple. A moving average, or MA for short, is basically just this smooth line drawn directly on top of your chart. Literally, all it does is calculate the average price of an asset over a specific number of days.
Yeah, and by constantly updating that average, it completely filters out those chaotic daily spikes and crashes we just talked about. It essentially takes that violent, jagged heartbeat of the daily chart and smooths it out into a readable wave. A wave that reveals the absolute, true trend.
Now, on Wall Street, sure, there are dozens of timeframes you could potentially use. But the two most important lines, the ones that truly, absolutely matter, are the 50-day and the 200-day moving averages. The 50-day MA, well, that represents your fast, short-term momentum. It tracks the last couple of months of trading. But that 200-day MA, wow, that one is slow. That represents roughly a full year of trading data. It's essentially the absolute macroeconomic baseline of the global economy.
Listen, you really need to burn this ultimate dividing line into your mind because it's intensely simple and wildly empowering. Generally speaking, if an asset's price is sitting above its 200-day line, you're in a long-term bull market. And conversely, if the price drops below that 200-day line, you're in a long-term bear market. It really is exactly that simple. It completely overrides whatever the daily news cycle is screaming about. Okay, moving on to section 3, the Golden Cross. So what actually happens when these two critical lines interact with each other? Well, you get this legendary technical signal that literally every major Wall Street algorithm watches like a hawk, the Golden Cross.
A golden cross happens exactly when that fast 50-day line crosses above the slow 200-day line. Think about what this means mathematically for a second. It proves without a shadow of a doubt that the recent buying pressure over the last 50 days is so massive, so incredibly aggressive, that it has completely overpowered the long-term 200-day baseline.
Exactly. The math is explicitly telling you that massive long-term growth is underway. We're talking a new bull market. Look, when an architect looks at their chart, specifically say a weekly chart, and they spot a golden cross, it's the ultimate confirmation.
Yeah, it tells you that the macroeconomic wind is finally right at your back. You aren't just sitting there guessing if a stock is recovering. The numbers literally prove a new, powerful bull market has begun. You're armed with undeniable logic.
All right, let's flip the script for section 4, the Death Cross. To make sure you're fully equipped, we really have to look at the other side of the coin here. We need to shift gears and examine the inverse scenario, which definitely requires a more serious, cautious approach.
Right. The death cross. This happens when the fast 50-day line crosses below the slow 200-day line. Just like the Golden Cross proved massive buying, this signal mathematically confirms that recent selling pressure has completely overpowered the baseline. The long-term trend? It's officially broken.
So this confirms the long-term trend is broken, and a major bear market is likely starting up. But I want to stop right here and ask a vital question. Does the architect panic when they see a death cross? Do they start frantically selling off every single thing in a blind sweat? Absolutely not. No way. Remember our core philosophy back from day 42 of this journey. A death cross is simply the signal for the neurofitness investor to prepare their dry powder. That's your cash just waiting patiently on the sidelines.
You know, to the untrained eye, a death cross is absolutely terrifying. But to the architect, it just means the great clearance sale has officially begun. You maintain your neurofitness, you take a step back, and you just wait for those undeniable opportunities that a bear market always creates.
And that brings us to our final part today, Section 5, the architect's action plan. Okay, so we've covered the theory, we've looked at the math, and now it's time to put this into practice. Let's ramp the energy back up because we're giving you a direct, empowering mission for today. Here is your specific cognitive task. Go grab your phone, open your financial app right now. Go straight to the chart settings and physically add the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average to your screen. Then, zoom out. I want you to look at the last 5 years of any major index or stock you follow, and find the exact moments where these two lines actually crossed. Notice historically how the golden cross practically predicted massive growth phases, and how the death cross signaled the start of those long, cold winters. You need to see it with your own eyes to really prove the math to yourself. Look, the market is completely full of noise, opinions, and chaos. But from now on, you are insulated from that. Don't guess the trend. Look at the compass. Equip your charts, protect your neurofitness, and let the moving averages show you the undeniable truth. So I'll leave you with this. The next time the market panics, are you going to let the noise dictate your wealth, or will you let the compass guide you to true freedom? Thank you so much for joining us for this Masterclass Explainer, and we will see you right back here tomorrow for day 61.